Hello everybody, and today we're going to talk about Imotekh the Stormlord. Very nice HQ, good ability. He's actually quite effective for assault based armies. He has the option to sit back and do nothing all game. One of the best things about him is his staff. This actually does a flat 2 damage, which is awesome. Because I'm sick of D3s and D6s. Anything that just does a standard amount of damage is the best. I'll take a flat 2 over a D3 any day. This guy likes to be medium to close range, okay? If you want a HQ that's going to sit back and do like boost your army all game, I would go with a cheaper option. He has my will be done, but his main role is to march up the board. An effective way to do so is using warriors. So turn 1, you're moving up. If you don't get in range with the warriors, which you should do because it's 3-inch range gun, but depending on what army you're up against, you're free to advance them. So moving them up 5 inches and so on. Shooting, you lose some command points and so on, and you reanimate and you move up again, and then you should be in range. So turn 2, you should be where he needs to be. Obviously, don't just send the 1 unit of warriors up because he'll get wiped out and they'll kill him. And then when he's in range, doing his damage, depending on what your opponent's got, he might come down and assault you, and if he does, that's perfect, because then you bring in these guys. You bring in a unit of flayed ones. With a Stormlord now, I wouldn't recommend bringing units of 20 in. I'd keep them small, but not too small. I keep them on the unit size of 10. If you want to bring more, I recommend you bring in 2 units of 10. Because I'd rather not be forced to use 2 command points to pass the morale test. I know there's a higher chance of losing them all. But the command points right now, they're quite hard for Necrons to get because the troop choice is so expensive. So keep the units small-ish, to say around 10. They are quite expensive. So turn 2, 3, you're in assault with something. Say the warriors are pretty much dead. They should be dead. And then these guys will deep strike in and join the fight. And what he does, he gives these the ability to reroll once in combat. And then the turn after the deep strike in, they can give him hitting on my will be done. So hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s. And they have shred, so they reroll to wound everything anyway. So, and they're 4 attacks base. So that's a lot of wounds. You can do 40 attacks, rerolling everything. Just pretend he's girly, man. So that's a good little count. That's a good little thing there. That's most people already know. You watch the board, bring in the things, do damage. So let's go on to a few strategies now. Lord of the Storm ability. You can do D6 mortal wounds to something. On a 1 it does nothing. What I would recommend doing with that, I would recommend you use your turn 1. Okay? Use your anti-tank weapons first to kill the big nasty stuff. And if whoever's left has got like 3 or 4 wounds, say maybe 1 or 2 wounds, use the Lord of the Storm on the tank. Don't use the Storm ability on stuff that's low toughness. Your army can deal with low toughness, easy. You want to go for high toughness models like tanks, Imperial Knights, something like that. So after you've done the D6 wounds, alright, you roll a D6 each enemy unit within 6 inches. And on a 6, they take D3 mortal wounds. And a lot of people say that it doesn't affect characters, but it does. Because on the ability says on here, you cannot pick, okay? You cannot pick a character. Alright, after you've done the damage to the unit, you don't pick the other units, it's just everything around it is a bubble, it's an aura. So you're not actually physically picking the units to attack. So if you use his ability on that, and it's a character here, you damage that, you get 6 on him, does more wounds, it's good. Haven't been FAQ'd, because it doesn't need to be FAQ'd. But the way it's worded, everything within 6 inches of the unit you attack gets damaged. And when it comes to mortal wounds, re-roll it if it's 1 or 2 with a command point. Don't re-roll it for a 3, because that's quite good. Unless you're feeling really brave, but you can always get a 1. Use that turn 1 just in case he gets wiped out. Don't hold something like that back, because he's hard to kill, but he's not impossible to kill turn 1. Yeah, and because he's a melee based HQ, your best bet is make somebody else your warlord. So if he dies, he doesn't give up victory point. I know we're going to get some new rules soon, which might make him be the warlord, have some better traits, but the way it is now, I wouldn't recommend him being the warlord. let's move these. The flayed one's the standard. You know, the first thing you think of is flayed ones because it's in his power. So I would always keep a unit or two back. And if you watch my other videos, you see the way I use death marks to get objective markers. If you drop the death marks and just use 5 flayed ones, they're 5 points more. But they can be used in the same way to bring him in, get an objective, and just leave him the whole game. And if he's march up the board, they can actually just come and help him out. If he's in your list, you might want to drop the death marks and take flayed ones instead. In units of 5, just to get objectives, and they have the option to deep strike in near him and help him out if you need it. Your death marks are quite useless. Okay, so we've been through the standard thing here. Let's get rid of these, because I do not use warriors anymore. Ever since the FAQ came out saying that things that run away on everything that dies in a morale test can't reanimate anymore, I don't use warriors. Because I don't like the fact you have to spend 2 command points every turn to keep him alive. Believe it or not now, this guy, he is actually quite fast. He has a weapon skill and blitz skill of 2+, alright? But he moves 5 inches, but the weapon's assault. So every turn, you can advance him, and you hit on freeze. The weapon does 2 damage apiece. And once you get in range of like the Primaris Space Marine Smurfs, each failed save against that staff is a dead Primaris Marine. That is awesome. That's why I love this guy, because he's in your face and the damn Primaris just die really quickly to him. But that's not the best thing about him. Another good thing is this. He actually works really well with the Nightbringer. You can use a Deceiver as well, but the Nightbringer roller with this guy. This guy is more of an anti-character killer than he is an anti-horde killer. And this guy is more of like an anti-horde, so they balance each other out well. So turn 1 or 2, you can run up the board really fast. Like so. You can advance him if you want, but he's probably going to do his shoot and attack. If not, he can advance again. You can bring up the rear. He will fall back a little bit now and again, because he's 5 inch movement, the other ones are like 10 and 8, so you'd be like, ugh. If they don't advance, he should catch up quite nicely. If not, don't worry about it, because he's a character and he can't get targeted. And now, once they're in range of what they need to be in range of, this guy can start doing his damage. Because he'll be in combat with stuff, he can do his Parasitan, do mortal wounds, and then he can use his Lord of Storm on whatever he's attacking if he needs to. This is the character, obviously. And because he's not your warlord, you won't give up a victory point. But you're still able to do tons of damage. And then when he's in combat with something that's nasty or something, you can bring in some extra backup. Units of 5 or units of 10, wherever you want. And then it's like, oh sugar! And then these go in. Command point to fail charge, you don't get in. It's worth a shot. And then all of a sudden, it becomes a pain in the butt because the scars will be wiped out. But then you got the flayed ones in, guarding this Deceiver and the Stormlord. They can come around and start hitting them. And just say like you've lost all the units in front of him, so you've got 1, 2 models left. Bring him in, just deep strike in the flayed ones, block it up, and then you have to kill the flayed ones again. Do not use this guy to sit back and do nothing, okay? I know you can bring him in your army to do D6 mortal wounds, but the extra points is not worth it. I only bring this guy if you can actually go into assault. He has to make his points back, and he'll only make his points back if he's in shooting range. He still does 2 damage apiece in combat as well, which is awesome. But you want him to get him at least 18 inches away from your enemy units. Preferably Primaris Marines or anything with 2 wounds. Get them also at that staff. Get them up there with things with 2 wounds, shoot them and kill them. You can combo him with walking and shooting armies like warriors, immortals, spiders. You can use a Deceiver. You can deep strike him in turn 1. He'll be in range of wherever you want to be in range. And then you can do shooting that way, but it's risky with a D3, so I don't really do that. But it's an option. Mid-range to close range. Obviously stay away from things like Demon Princes and stuff. But that is how you use them. As like most overlords, their roles are quite limited. They either sit back and do nothing or in your face. He's somewhere in between. He wants to be almost an assault. That's where he wants to be. But he's not afraid to assault. But the reason why he's good is he can bring in these as backup. You can make them reroll 1s. Then the turn after that, if they're still alive, you can make them hit on 2s, reroll 1s, so they never miss really, and they never fail to wound because they double wound, they get shred. So they reroll everything to hit and reroll everything to wound, And if you want to be really cocky, just take like 100 of them. Now you haven't got points there, but you just take several units. And if you want to use flamers effectively, if you click up the eye, there's actually a video for the flayed ones tactical video. So thank you all for watching, and I hope I helped you out, and I'll see you all again in the next video.